Good morning. We're on our way to Lexden near Colchester this morning. The aim is to run the last part of my old run to work route from home into Colchester and to explore some of the historic parts of this former Roman town. We'll run across nature reserves, past the 2,000-year-old Roman walls and explore the old centre of the town. We move on to the castle and its park before dropping down to the River Colne and running across another nature reserve back to the car. Because the town's got so many interesting sites, I've split the video into two parts. This first part starts the run in Lexden and finishes in the High Street. The second part will detail the return journey via the lovely castle park and River Colne. I hope you enjoy the video.
Being released the new songs, I am so convinced that there's going to be a Mamma Mia 3. No doubt about it.
This is Lexden Park Nature Reserve. The old house there in the middle was at one time the annex of Colchester Institute. Right, so this is part of the route that I used to run to and from work. Crossing over Glen Avenue here. It's quite a steep hill there, and we used to use it to do hill reps. On to Hilly Fields, which is a local nature reserve, and you can see a view of the northern part of Colchester across there. There we go, one of the ubiquitous pillboxes. Quite a nice little running route this. It runs parallel to the road that carries a lot of traffic, or in fact two roads that carry a lot of traffic from the west into Colchester. Yeah, this bit in the middle here was always an open space, and I used to work at the college just down there for a good few years, and I used to come across this field. Well, at night, coming back after teaching an evening class, there used to be the most extraordinary things going on. I won't go into detail. Yeah, it's a nice little walk now, stroll round the top here on a Sunday morning. A few people are doing that already. It's only just after 8 o'clock. The hill has evidence of Iron Age settlement, and also of course Roman. course all of the buildings that you see in front of you at the moment just didn't exist. I know the camera doesn't show it, but that's a steep hill for these parts. Okay, so we're nearly at the town centre now. They take an open area of ground, cover it with housing, and have the cheek to call it St Mary's Fields. This was the old St Mary's Hospital, which was still functional when we arrived in Colchester. Car park was built after we arrived. Now, as I've mentioned many times before, Colchester was a Roman town, and you can see the Roman wall here which encircles the town. Obviously parts of it are missing, and this is the Balkerne Gate, which is one of the, well, I think it is the largest surviving Roman gate in Britain. The Roman wall is 1 3/4 miles long around Colchester. It was built from about AD 65 after the Boudiccan rebellion, which actually destroyed the town. Most of the structure of the gate was where the pub is now. Here's an impression of what it looked like. The main exit led out onto the road towards London. And the Mercury Theatre, just been revamped. The water tower, Jumbo. The tower was nicknamed Jumbo after the London Zoo elephant as a term of derision in 1882 by Reverend John Irving, who was annoyed that the tower dwarfed his nearby rectory at St Mary at the Walls. We move into Head Street, and like many other towns, many of the shops have closed. This is Sir Isaac's Walk. Lots of little independent shops along here. Some of them empty, of course. Very sad. Have a diversion here to the centre of Colchester, Culver Square. There we go. This is Trinity Street. There's a few old famous old buildings along here. Let's have a look at Tymperleys. This was a house built round about 1490 for John Tymperleys, steward for the Duke of Norfolk. It was expanded somewhat in the late 16th century and became the home of William Gilbert, a physician to Elizabeth I and an early investigator into magnetism. Colchester Library, and here is Trinity Church. This is the only Saxon building left in Colchester. The tower is Saxon. So it was built round about 1050, and As you can see, a lot of the building material for it was taken from previous Roman structures. Just looking at it, you can see all the Roman tile. The rest of the church is sort of 13th, 14th century. It's not used as a church anymore, but nice to have something Saxon at least. Out into the High Street. So this is Colchester High Street. There's Town Hall. The Town Hall's quite an impressive building. It was built in 1897. A 192-foot tower was funded by James Paxman, a local engineering company owner. The first part of the tour ends here. The second part will look at Colchester Castle and Castle Park, and a run along the River Colne and nature reserve.